Howdy, howdy, this is Creative Grinding back with an arena cutoff video for Marvel Contest of Champions. Today I cover round one results for the Captain America and Carnage arenas, then I do some quick trend analysis and do a round two prediction. So first with the results, when we take a look at these, they kind of came in as expected. Starting here on the left with the four-star feature, Captain America, he came in top 800 at 8.2 million cutoff with a top 10% cutoff at 4.4 for the shard tier. And for the next 11% shard tier, that came in at 2.5 million. Unfortunately, this means for the top 10% and that 11% tier, we're staying right around the cutoffs that we had in November when Valor were added versus going back to that pre-Valor arena cutoffs for their shard tier. So unfortunately, it looks like there's going to be a little extra more grinding to get those shards. Now we jump over into the middle for the Carnage. You can see that the four-star basic arena came in. The cutoff for Carnage came in at 2.4 million with the lambda 25% shard tier coming in at 1.6 million. Then over to the right, you can see that the three-star Captain America, he came in at 724,000 with the lambda 25% tier coming in at 646,000. So as I indicated earlier, these cutoffs were very similar to what I was expected. Unfortunately, not all of these predictions were perfect though. First, starting over here on the left, though, that was a pretty one spot on. 8.5 million for Captain America and 4.4 million for the top 10%. So that's a pretty good prediction. We jump over to the middle. Again, Carnage was predicted to come in at 3 million. It was close, not perfect for sure, but definitely above that 10% kind of threshold that I like to evaluate these predictions by. So unfortunately, it wasn't a check mark, a great prediction. But with the arena boost, with the arena chip boost going on during this arena, it was you got extra arena chips for doing the grinding here. So this is more of a meh kind of prediction. And then lastly, when you jump over to the three-star feature Captain America on the right, you can see the prediction was 720,000, where the actual cutoff for Captain America was 724. So I mean, coming within 4,000 points of the arena cutoff, even for the three-star features. Pretty darn good prediction. Unfortunately, though, this was right under the cutoff. So anytime you're under the cutoff, no matter how close the prediction is, it's still a mad pick. Now, if it was more than 10,000 away, then it would be just a bad pick. But in here, it's a kind of a mad pick because it was or I should say not pick, but prediction because it was really close. But if you just played to the cutoff, then you didn't get the champ. Hopefully that wasn't you. Hopefully, folks who watch my videos know that you should always kind of go above the expected grind target because exceptions do occur. And here's another example where exceptions can occur to what's expected from past results. Because past results don't indicate or not 100% indicative of what future results will be. But anyway, so what should we think about for round two? So speaking of past results, we can use them as a guide. Like I said, we can use them as a guide, but they're not going to be 100% accurate. They're just going to get us a good sense of what's going to happen. So when we can see when the four-star feature for old champs, you can see that Abomination had a bump of 200,000 roughly bump between round one and round two cutoff. When you see Nightcrawler, he had a more significant bump, almost 700,000. It's probably due to the fact he's got a little bit more utility in the game still today. And then Loki, since he already had a high cutoff at that 10 million, his second round cutoff was very similar. But when you look at the top 10% and 11% lines lower in the graph, you can see that they've just been gradually increasing, and unfortunately, they have not been decreasing. So we should expect around that 4.5 for the 10% tier, and for the 11% tier, around that 2.3, 2.5 cutoff. Now, when we jump over to the four-star basic, when we take a look at some similar results, Psylocke, she had a jump between 2.7 to 3.3, so about a 600,000 jump between round one and round two. We take a look at Angela. She too had a pretty decent jump from 3 million to 3.5, so about a 500,000 jump. But an arena that was very similar to Carnage was like King Groot. He didn't have that significant bump, but he did have a bump from 2.5 to 2.7. And so what does it mean? We should probably expect a bump probably in that King Group, maybe a little bit higher for Carnage. And then when you look at the 11% shard tier line lower in the graph, you can see that it too has about 150, 200,000 jump from round one cutoff to round two cutoff. Now, lastly, for the three-star feature Captain America arena, you can see in the past Abomination, it had a jump, not a significant one, but a jump, a couple, like 20,000 between round one and round two. Again, Nightcrawler with more utility, he had a bigger jump from 714,000 to 802,000. And then when you look over at the Loki arena, he had a jump from 712,000 to 726,000. So again, 15, 10 to 15,000 jump. And then when unfortunately looking at the 11 to 25%, we see we have a pretty significant jump, and that's not returning back to that 500 range. That's going up back to 600,000 plus. And it looks like we may unfortunately have to stay there for that for a while. So when it comes to round two predictions based off of looking at these past results, I think that Captain America four-star feature will come in at 8.8 million, with the top 10% coming in at 4.6%, and the 11% tier, even though it's not shown here, you should target about 2.6%, or sorry, 2%, 2.6 million, and for that top 10%, it was 4.6 million. Now we jump over to the four-star basic. You can see Carnage coming in. I think the prediction, the cutoff will be right around 2.8 million, with 11 to 25% tier coming in at 1.75 million. And lastly, for the three-star feature Captain America, I think you'll be able to get him with that cutoff around 760,000, with 11 to 25% cutoff coming in at 670,000. So these are the predictions, and as we already seen just with these the round one results, predictions based off of past trends don't they get us in the ballpark to give you a good sense of where this can land. But if you want to be safe, you want to go a little bit higher than these cutoffs. So in terms of grind targets, if you can get to 9.2 million, you should go that far with Captain America, maybe even 9.3, because I think a lot of people may assume when you get close to 9 million, just go all the way. For folks that normally grind this arena, they have a lot of five stars to allow them to quickly grind this. So going from 8.3 or 8.2, whatever it was in the first round to 9.2, an extra million isn't a lot of work. Maybe a couple rounds, maybe even one round they can get there. With the top 10%, 4.8 million, and again with the 11% tier going to about 2.7 should be fine. 2.7 million. Now, jumping over to Carnage, I think if you really want to make sure you don't miss him, maybe you got him in the first round, you want to make sure to dupe him, go to 3.2 million. There might be folks who try to push it to that 3 million, even though I think the cutoff will be closer to 2.8. They may try to push it over 3 million. So to give you a little buffer from that pushover, go to 3.2 million. And then with that 11 to 25% tier, go to 1.8 million. And lastly, for the three-star feature Captain America, if you really want him, go to 790,000. And for the 11 to 25% tier, go to 690,000. Again, these grind targets as well as round two predictions are for the veterans bracket, meaning that you play an account that's been open for 61 days plus. If you've been in a newer account, there are actually different arenas brackets for you. There's a beginner bracket for accounts that have been open within the last 30 days, and then there's an intermediate bracket for accounts that have been open 31 days to 60 days. And unfortunately, there's not a ton of past results that I can do trend analysis against and to come up with a good enough sample to really say, hey, yeah, this seems like a sound trend analysis to base predictions off of. So basically, these are just rough ranges to target while if you're in these brackets based off of even recent experiences. As I started a free to play account, I've been going through some of the beginner brackets myself. But even through my main account, the Crafty Grinding account, when I went back in August, I was able to see some of these results as well. And plus, great input and feedback coming back from the community, either indirectly or directly through the comments, like in my YouTube channel. I've heard from folks saying that, giving me their input, what their results look like. So anyway, for the three-star feature in the beginners bracket, 245,000 is the general range. For the four-star basic, look for around 1 million. For the four-star feature, around 1 million as well. And when we jump down to the intermediate bracket, the three-star features around 650,000, the four-star basic around 1.4 million, and lastly, the four-star feature around 1.2 million. So anyway, these are my thoughts. Would love to hear your thoughts, or if you have any questions or difference of opinion, throw them on down in the comment section. We can discuss them there. And if you like this this video, we'd really appreciate you smashing that thumbs up like button. And if you like this and other videos I have in the channel, we really appreciate a subscribe. Other than that, thanks a lot for stopping by and have a great day.